What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Dubstar as we near the end of 2018. Thank you as always to Phil. And the next track in the playlist is Locked Inside, which, when I looked at it, gave me, I guess, a more literal reading, but one not of the external, but of the internal and indeed cognitive. The idea that each of us are locked inside our brains. We are locked inside by our individual biology, and though we can, of course, have empathy and do our best to see things through other people's perspectives, we are restrained by our inability to get outside of our brains. Our brains are a locked room. So, yeah, that was my first thought. Now, it could be like locked inside emotionally. You don't show a lot of emotion on the surface because you keep everything under lock and key. It could, of course, be a more literal reading, like the feelings you had when you were locked in somewhere. And of course, that raises the idea of, what type of narrative would that entail? Of course, something like prison or something, you were literally locked inside, though I don't expect it to go in that direction. In any case, I am curious, and of course, it's the type of phrase that just on the surface, no matter which direction or on what scale it goes, would seem to fit well with their often darker or more complicated lyrics. So let's give it a listen. This is Dubstar. The song is Locked Inside, and it's from their 2018 album, One. Like that, like rubber metallic quality to that sound.
I'm passing through your evening like a child, to do something worthwhile beside your other plans. hands are tied. Will you tell them that you tried? I'm locked inside. Won't you help me stop this ride? My hands are tied. Will you tell them that you tried? I'm locked inside. That you tried. Stop this ride. My hands are tied. Will you tell them that you tried? I'm locked inside. Won't you help me stop this ride? Locked inside. Tied. Locked inside. That you tried. Locked inside. Locked inside.
Oh dear God. I was not prepared for that. That was way more literal than I was thinking. I think the ideas I had at the opening were entirely fair hypotheses. Excuse me, but dear God, I think it's pretty clear what's happening here. She has been abducted and is being transported to who knows where for what nefarious purposes, thankfully, are not fully specified, although I think there's a couple possible conclusions, neither of which are pleasant to think about. But yes, so she has had her hands tied and she's locked inside this car, and as other motorists pass, she is willing them to recognize that she is not here of her own volition. And there is this line or pair of lines at the beginning. It's like, will you recognize that I need help, or will you think that you're mistaken? And I think there is that idea that, it's like you see something that seems a bit unusual. It's easier to be like, oh, I don't know, it's probably just a couple in a fight, or it's probably just, like, I'm not understanding what the context is. I don't want to I don't want to get involved. Out of sight, out of mind. Now I've driven past them and I'm just not going to think about it anymore. And then the related line, like, will you tell them you tried? Like, if it comes out and it, it's in the papers or something, or in the nightly news that some woman was abducted and murdered, assaulted, whatever. And if it's like, oh, this person took her from here to there in this color car, it's like, oh crap. Like, I think I saw them. And then the question is, would you have called the police at least? And like, oh, I'm not sure what I saw, but, there may have been someone who was like, restrained in the back of a car. Will you tell them you tried? And the idea that she's, trying to indicate what's happening through the glass, which again, not having the power to speak to someone, and, who knows, maybe she's gagged too, but the idea of her trying to convey the severity and danger of the situation to people who are just seeing for a moment and wondering whether, the help that she needs is clear, or whether, again, people will sort of dismiss it, and seems to be saying, like, you're going to see the light of the sunshine again, but the implication, I think, being that she may not, that, this is perhaps a final destination that she's going toward, unless someone intervenes, whether it's literally to follow the car, try to intervene directly, or whether at the very least, oh, hey, I saw this car and this was the license plate number, and, they were headed this way. So, yes, very literal about being locked inside, way darker than I was prepared for, and knowing that they go in these directions with their songs, I still wasn't ready for it, and it still hit me like, oof, it's more heavy and unpleasant than I was perhaps ready for. Nevertheless, I do think it is very much in their wheelhouse, very compelling, and I enjoy the sonics. I mean, they're not super bright and happy, but they're definitely not as heavy and dire and intense or uncomfortable as you might expect with subject matter like this. And that is, once again, seemingly their calling card, where there's a song with a bit of a melodic grace to it, and, her vocals are always very compelling, and, it's not like she's ever, scream singing, or she's not like shrieking, or, very intense in the vocal delivery. So there is this dichotomy, there is this tension between the scene that gets painted and the sonic environment it's in, and this is another classic example. So a very good song, a very intense song as far as I can tell, and do let me know if I've somehow gotten this wrong, but again, I think a number of the lines were pretty clear as to what's happening, and then at the end it's like, pulling the parking brake, we're at the destination, that wherever he's taken her, and again, we don't want to know what comes next, unless of course it's the police intervening and her being helped in the manner that she was wondering if it was still possible for her. So, yeah, a really intense one. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.